Okay, so we've gone over everything in nuclear. Now we're going to start looking at medical applications. So they use radio tracers in medical applications. That just means they're using a radioactive element that can be traced easily. They're used to follow a pathway, whatever pathway that specific radio tracer goes through, and you're able to view something from it. And so the ability comes from the fact that all isotopes of an element have essentially identical chemical properties. If so, that means like all carbons have identical properties. The pathway is revealed by the radioactivity of the radioisotope. So like that. So ones you can think of as iodine-131. Remember my little thing. You have your thyroids right here. So 1 on each side and 3 here. So 131. Carbon-11, it detects brain abnormalities like epilepsy, Parkinson's, schizophrenia, and it's incorporated into glucose or sugar and traced in through the brain. Iron-59, blood disorders. Think of iron. You can eat iron. You have iron in your cereal, so you can eat it. It can go through your body. All right, so the thyroid, like I was talking right here, 131, is responsible for regulating diverse biochemical processes, rate and strength of cardiac contractions, your oxygenation of the blood, rate of breathing, number of red blood cells you have, circulating throughout your body, your sugar intake through the muscles, lipid oxidation, protein synthesis, growth promotion, nervous system maturation, and natural branching. So it's not good when thyroids get messed with. So carbon-11, like I said, brain. It's incorporated into sugar and then injected and traced in through your brain. So you can get this lovely little picture right here. Then you have radiotherapy. Again, you have the iodine-131, 131. Cobalt-60, this one you're going to kind of have to memorize. Deep tumor radiation, but it also goes into food preservation, really weirdly. Technetium-99, that's also brain. And so think of carbon-11, 11, technetium-99, 99, all go with your brain. Most synthetic isotopes in quantity in medicine and scientific research are made using neutrons as projectiles. Because remember, neutrons are neutral. It makes it so much easier because there's no repulsion to overcome. Neutron capture of cobalt-60. This is just showing what's going on with that. So we start out with iron. I know it's weird. We're starting with iron. We're going to shoot a neutron at it, doing neutron capture. So you have iron 26, but there's a mass of iron 59. So it goes from iron 58 to iron 59, which then has a decay, an alpha decay, which goes to cobalt 59. Sorry about this. The numbers are smushed over a little bit. So from cobalt 59, we again shoot a neutron with it. Neutron capture turns to cobalt-60. So here's some other uses. Carbon-14. So we looked at carbon-11, which is brain abnormalities. Carbon-14, on the other hand, is organic dating. Uranium-38, which goes to lead-206, is geological rocks dating. Food preservation, like I said, the weird one. Cobalt-50 or 60 does both tumors and food preservation. All right, so here's a little exercise. An activity of fresh sample of wood, it has a disintegration of 15.2 per second. A sample from an archaeological site shows that it only has 1.9. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with a 5.29 and you're going to half-life it until 1.9. So you can see as you half-life it, you've got 3 half-lives. So carbon-14 is your your organic dating. So you're going to times 3.9 or three half-lives times the amount of half-life, or how long a half-life, the half-life of carbon-14, which is 5,730, multiplied by 3, it is 17,190 years old, that piece of wood. All right, 238, uranium-238. This is for rocks dating rocks. Its most abundant isotope is lead, which means it produces lead. Its daughter cell is lead-206. By determining the amount of 206, lead-206, uranium-238 ratio in a rock, the age of the rock can be determined or estimated. Another thing that you may see, especially in Chernobyl, they have radiation detectors. That's just to see how much radiation is around. What's actually happening is the decay is hitting the inside of this, and it is pinging, which causes it when they're causes it to click, in essence. So here's some risks. Just to let you know, we're constantly bombarded with radiation from the sun. When matter is absorbed, radiation and energy of the radiation can cause either excitation, which we're seeing, literally seeing, that's color, or ionization of matter. Ionization is not good. Ionization radiation is more harmful. When living tissue is irradiated, most of the energy is absorbed by water. We're made up of 70% water. Not good. So radiation ionizes water molecules. That ionization ions in the water then attack surrounding biomolecules. Your biomolecules. So the greatest damage done is to the rapidly reproducing cells. What cells rapidly reproduce? Your blood cells, your lymph nodes, your bone marrow. Not good when all that gets irradiated. So it depends on the activity and energy of that radiation. And we've already looked at this before. The penetrating power. Alpha is stopped by skin. Beta, about 1 centimeter below surface. Gamma, right on through. Swiss cheese, not good. Okay, it also depends on the source is inside or outside the body. Now here's where it gets kind of freaky. Radon-222 is produced naturally. It's a naturally nuclear disintegration of uranium-238, which again is used to date rocks that are, below us. Radon is a byproduct. That byproduct is a noble gas, and it's extremely unreactive and easily escapes from the ground. It seeps up into house foundations, and then it's breathed in. But here's the thing, radon-222 is an alpha emitter, so it does give off alpha particles, which is a nuclear decay. If you breathe it in, remember back the slide before, alpha particles stop by the skin. So it's stopped by the skin, it's stopped and it can't get out. So it's stuck in your lungs. Not good. So polonium is also an alpha emitter, which we don't have, which is one of the things that is produced from radon. So radon not only produces an alpha particle, so does polonium. So you have a bunch of alpha particles irradiating your lungs, which is a biomolecule, which there's blood that goes through there. Not good. It's also dependent on the length of exposure. The more you're exposed, the bad it goes. Extended exposure to low-dose cancer, it gives damage to growth regulation mechanisms in the cell, inducing cells to reproduce in an uncontrolled manner. That's what cancer does. So extended exposure to low doses can cause cancer. And yes, we use radiation to get rid of cancer. Kind of an ironic thing. All right, so we have to store all this radioactive waste that we've talked about. And because it has such a long half-life, how long? 20 half-lives are required for a radioactivity to be spent so that it's acceptable, so that we can be around it. That's about 600 years. People haven't been around for 600 years, really. So all the stuff we're producing won't be until way after we're dead. The basic method of nuclear waste disposal is to bury it in the ground in hopes it doesn't leak out. More specifically, to identify stable geological foundations which can host the material for 10,000 years, like the Yucca Mountain in Nevada. So that's where they plan on holding it. One thing to note is a lot of, like right there, a lot of nuclear plants, or some of them, actually store the nuclear waste on site. All right, and then we have Chernobyl, which some of you have read about. If you haven't, there's a reading in the back of your manual. Please do read a little bit up on it. Besides that, you had your study guide, and I hope you guys have a great day. If you have any questions, let me know.